Hollywood Unmasked, honoring the legacies. Welcome back to the latest video on Hollywood Unmasked. In the past 24 hours, we've received sad news about the passing of some extraordinary talents. In today's episode, we dedicate this time to honor their memories and celebrate the legacies of these remarkable individuals. Before we begin, we kindly ask for your support. If this video or their legacy has touched your life, please give it a like as a sign of respect. Thank you. 1. John Forté. The acclaimed artist who worked alongside the Fugees has passed away at 50. The musician died Monday, January 12th, at his home in Chilmark on Martha's Vineyard. A neighbor found him unresponsive and called authorities at 2:25 p.m. He was pronounced at the scene. Reports indicate Forté experienced a serious health crisis 1 year earlier when he was hospitalized following a seizure. Growing up in Brooklyn, Forté's journey began when he picked up the violin. He later roomed with rapper Talib Kweli at NYU before dropping out to work for underground hip-hop label Rawkus Records. Lauryn Hill introduced him to the Fugees in the early 1990s. He co-wrote and produced tracks for their Grammy-winning 1996 album, The Score, earning his first Grammy nomination at 21. He toured with the Fugees and contributed to Wyclef Jean's 1997 album, The Carnival. In 1998, he released his debut Poli-Sci, produced by Jean. 2 years later, Forté was arrested with liquid cocaine possession charges. He received 14 years under mandatory minimum laws. While incarcerated, he recorded his second album, I, John, featuring Carly Simon and Herbie Hancock. Simon became a passionate advocate, and President George W. Bush commuted his sentence in November 2008. Forté became a prominent figure in Martha's Vineyard's music scene, living with his wife and 2 children. He composed the score for the Breonna Taylor documentary Bree Way and released his final album, Vessels, Angels, and Ancestors in 2021. 2. Barbara Lawrence. Longtime Hollywood manager Barbara Lawrence passed away January 2nd while in Manhattan on a family vacation. She was 82. Her clients included Chris Evans, Rue McClanahan, Alan Rakins, and Taylor Howard. Barbara Deichmann was born January 10, 1943 in the Forest Hills section of Queens. Her mother, Gertrude, was a homemaker and her father, Bernie, became an executive for Nikon. She attended Forest Hills High School and the University of Miami. From 1967 to 1970, she was married to actor Dennis Cooney, through whom she became friends with Liza Minnelli and Fred Ebb. She moved to Los Angeles in the early 1970s and worked at the Abrams-Rubloff Agency, where she met future husband Richard Lawrence. They married in 1972. Richard left Abrams-Rubloff in the mid-70s to pursue talent management at his own firm, then bought Abrams-Rubloff from Harry Abrams in 1980. Barbara took over Richard's management firm, renamed Rebel Entertainment Partners, in 2004. She eventually joined Ensemble Entertainment and retired in the early 2000s. Survivors include her husband Richard, son Seth Lawrence, an IAG agent, his wife Denise Draper, a manager at Range Media Partners, and their children Dalen, Madden, Wyatt, and Cole. Also, son Evan Lawrence, an account executive at Upstaging Incorporated, and his wife Jill Annenberg Lawrence. Her family and more than 85 friends and former colleagues celebrated her life this past weekend on what would have been her 83rd birthday at Castellina Restaurant in Woodland Hills. 3. Scott Adams. Scott Adams, who kept cubicle workers laughing for over 3 decades with Dilbert, the comic strip that poked fun at corporate life, passed away Tuesday. He was 68. His first ex-wife, Shelley Miles, revealed his passing at the start of Real Coffee with Scott Adams. In May, he shared on the podcast that he had been facing advanced health challenges. In a statement read by Miles, he said, "My body fell before my brain." Sprung from Adams' days as a Pacific Bell Applications engineer in San Ramon, California, Dilbert debuted in 1989 and at its peak appeared in more than 2,000 newspapers across 65 countries and 25 languages with an estimated worldwide readership of more than 150 million. The strip captured office life and struck a nerve with the white-collar class. Dilbert was an unassuming engineer who was a whiz with computers, but lacking in social skills. His colleagues included Alice, Wally, and Isak, overseen by the pointy-haired boss, a clueless authority whose actions often caused more harm than good. The jokes played off the truths of the work environment. Adams, stuck in endless business meetings, would sketch ideas on a notepad, leading to Dilbert. "I hated my work," he said. "It never seemed to be what I should be doing." Adams sent his portfolio to several newspaper syndicates. United Feature Syndicate picked it up, and by 1991 his cartooning revenue had far exceeded his annual Pacific Bell salary. His first Dilbert compilation book hit stores in 1992, followed by 48 more. Merchandise flooded the market, and for 2 seasons, starting in 1999, fans could catch animated episodes on UPN. "I had an amazing life. I gave it everything I had," he said in his final words. "Be useful, and please know I loved you all to the very end." 4. Guy Moon. Guy Moon, the Emmy-nominated composer who worked on Nickelodeon's beloved animated shows, The Fairly OddParents and Danny Phantom, has passed away. He was 63. According to a report from the Los Angeles County Medical Examiner and an announcement made by his family, Moon passed Thursday from injuries sustained in a traffic collision. "We feel singularly blessed to have been able to call him dad and husband. As we stand together at what seems to be an insurmountable grief, we are emboldened to grieve him with honor and courage with the tools that he equipped us with in his beautiful life," his family wrote on Facebook. "He has left an unmistakable legacy and will be profoundly missed by us, his family, and countless others whose lives he impacted." A 4-time Emmy nominee, Moon worked on The Fairly OddParents throughout its full 10-season run on Nickelodeon from 2001 to 2017. He lent his musical talents to a number of animated shows including the network's Danny Phantom, TUFF Puppy, Bunsen is a Beast, The Adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle, and 1992's The Addams Family. Moon frequently worked at Nickelodeon throughout his career. He served as composer on the 2004 TV movie The Jimmy Timmy Power Hour and its 2 2006 follow-ups, Big Time Rush from 2010 to 2013 and 2012's Big Time Movie. In recent years, Moon took on more live-action projects, including the 8-part 2024 series The Green Veil, starring John Leguizamo. His additional composing credits include The Brady Bunch Movie, 1995, and A Very Brady Sequel, 1996. Moon's family noted they are tentatively planning to celebrate his life on his birthday, February 7th, in the Los Angeles area. 5. Bob Weir. Bob Weir, the singer, songwriter, and rhythm guitarist known as a founding member of the Grateful Dead, has passed away. His family announced Saturday on Instagram. He was 78. Weir transitioned peacefully, surrounded by loved ones after courageously facing challenges as only Bobby could. They said he was facing health challenges in July, but returned to his hometown stage the next month for a 3-night celebration of 60 years of music at Golden Gate Park. His family added, "Bobby will forever be a guiding force whose unique artistry reshaped American music. His work did more than fill rooms with music. It was warm sunlight that filled the soul, building a community, a language, and a feeling of family that generations of fans carry with them. Every chord he played, every word he sang was an integral part of the stories he wove as the leader of such bands as Dead and Company, Phil Lesh and Friends, Further, Rat Dog, and Wolf Brothers. Were carried on the legacy following the passing of bandmate Jerry Garcia in 1995. Weir and lead guitarist Garcia formed the group in 1965 with Ron "Pigpen" McKernan, Phil Lesh, and Bill Kreutzmann. He wrote and sang on songs including Sugar Magnolia, Playing in the Band, Truckin', Throwing Stones, Let It Grow, I Need a Miracle, One More Saturday Night, Mexicali Blues, Hell in a Bucket, Cassidy, and The Other One. With Weir expertly filling in between Garcia's upbeat guitar work and Lesh's innovative bass lines, the group took to the road for long stretches, playing improvisational shows that lasted for hours. Weir, known for wearing shorts on stage, had big hands that enabled him to voice chords that most people can't reach, Garcia once said. Survivors include his wife Natasha and daughters Chloe and Monet. There is no final curtain here, his family said. Only the sense of someone setting off again. Spotlight: The Life of Sam Elliott. Sam Elliott was born on August 9, 1944 in Sacramento, California, into a family that would shape his future in ways both inspiring and tragic. His father, Henry Nelson Elliott, worked as a predator control specialist for the Department of the Interior, a rugged job that required him to manage wildlife populations across vast stretches of American wilderness. His mother, Glennie Sparks, was a physical training instructor and high school teacher, bringing discipline and structure to the household. Sam grew up with his older brother, David, in a home where hard work and responsibility were not just encouraged, but expected. The Elliott family embodied the values of post-war America, where men were stoic, women were resilient, and children learned early that life demanded more than it gave. When Sam was 13 years old, the family relocated to Portland, Oregon, a move that would prove pivotal in his development. Portland in the late 1950s was a city caught between its frontier past and its modern future. For a teenage boy, it was a landscape of contradictions. Sam attended David Douglas High School, where he was not the star athlete or the class president, but rather a quiet observer. It was during these high school years that Sam first encountered the world that would define his life. His mother took him to watch a stage production. Sam sat in that darkened theater and felt something shift inside him. He didn't just want to watch these stories. He wanted to inhabit them. When he told his father about his newfound passion for acting, the response was exactly what one might expect from a man who spent his days in the wilderness. Henry Elliott saw acting as frivolous and impractical. Despite his father's disapproval, Sam enrolled at the University of Oregon, but his heart was in the theater department. After 2 years, Sam dropped out and enrolled in Clark College in Vancouver, Washington, specifically to study acting. In 1962, tragedy struck. Henry Elliott died suddenly of a heart attack, leaving Sam, then just 18, drowning in a sea of guilt and unfinished conversations. The loss shattered something in Sam, but it also hardened his resolve. He moved to Los Angeles, where he struggled to find his footing, surviving on construction work while waiting for a break. His first screen appearance came in 1969 with a small role in Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. Throughout the early 1970s, he cobbled together a career from television guest spots in shows like Gunsmoke and Hawaii Five-0. His first significant role came in 1976 in Lifeguard. The movie showcased his ability to convey masculinity without aggression and vulnerability without weakness. The 1980s marked a turning point. In 1985, he appeared in Mask alongside Cher, and in 1989, Roadhouse cemented his place in popular culture as Wade Garrett. Throughout the 1990s, he brought gravitas to Tombstone, 1993, and served as the mythic narrator in The Big Lebowski, 1998. In 2018, everything changed with A Star is Born. Playing Bobby Maine, Sam earned his first Academy Award nomination after nearly 50 years in the industry. At 74, he was experiencing the kind of recognition that had long eluded him. Throughout his 70s, Sam has dealt with various age-related issues, though he remains private about his health. He has spoken about the importance of medical checkups and being honest about the realities of growing older.